subscribing my YouTube channel in such a large range. And today, just because in my previous video, my camera was a little blurry, so the video quality was a little down standard, so I am reposting that. Or you should say it's again a second video on the same topic. It's discussing the very basic concept of the Vedic astrology, that why a particular house is considered to be good or bad. Say, if we go very deep, say root cause of Vedic astrology, there are the two things. You must have been heard quite a few times that a particular house has got a ruler or the owner and a karka, a natural karka. Now, what does this mean? Owner. Say I am the owner of this comic. Right? I love comic books, especially Hindi ones. And suppose I am the owner of this comic. It is written in Hindi. I am an alien to this language. I don't understand this language. Then what will happen? I own this, but I will not be able to use it properly. And suppose I have hired a language translator, a person who knows Hindi. Then he can read this comic and tell it to me. He is the natural karka. I am the owner, he is the karka. So, natural owner or the ruler of a lord is the owner of that particular house. And the karka is the person who can utilize that house to its optimum limit, or the best person who can act in that house. Suppose you have gone to a big building, you have purchased a big mansion, right? You don't know its ways, its roots, what is the speciality, where is the warehouse, where is the bedroom, and another time there is a servant who has been living in there for past 20 years. He knows every pin and pillar of that building. So you are the owner and that person is the karka. The concept is clear. Now came to the house-wise analyzation. Say, which is the most beneficial house? That is the base house. Right. Ascendant. Ascendant is owned by Mars and the natural karka is Sun. Best friends, that's why it is called the best house. Mars indicates body, everything which is tangible. Sun indicates the things which are intangible but holds very much importance, like sun, your ego, your aura. These things are not tangible but equally holds some importance. If a person is without aura, he is useless. If you have got a torch but it is unable to produce light, it is useless. Right? That is why ascendant is considered to be the best house. Now came to the second house. Second house, house of family, communication, liquid wealth, cash. That doesn't mean that you will own property or things like that, but liquid cash. Who owns this? Communication is our first introduction to the knowledge. It is owned by Jupiter and the natural karka is Venus. Both are teachers, but they are rivals. Rivals, not enemies. There is a difference in between enemies and rivals. Say there is a city, two mafia gangs, they are enemy to each other, they will try to shoot each other out. Okay. And there is a particular class in which there are two students, brilliant students, they are competing for the top rank in the class. So they are the competitors, not enemies. This is what the Jupiter and the Venus are. They are the competitors. But the problem lies is that they are still the opposite forces. That is why the second house is considered to be the Pratham Markesh, or the first cause of death in a particular birth chart. It's a conditionally evil house. It is evil or it is good. It will be decided by the particular ascendant and the planet sitting in that. Now we came to the first of the bad houses, third house. Third house is not evil. I had already discussed the difference between the evil and the bad in my previous video. Third house, the owner is Mercury and the natural karka is Mars. It's a conditionally evil house or a bad house. Why? Mars indicates our communication, our skill. Oh, sorry. Mercury indicates our communication and our skills, and Mars action, hard work. If you can communicate well, if you can convince someone, if you can make someone else understand any particular thing, you will not be required to do the action to make him understand that. Or you, if I have got my convincing power in my voice, I convince someone to do a particular task for me, I will not be going to go and do that. Okay. Mars and Mercury are not the opposite forces. Mercury is a neutral planet. So third house, whether it will give good results or bad results, it will depend upon the ascendant and the other planet sitting in. Although Mercury holds a secret friendship with Saturn, so that's why it's a little bit rival of Mars, but in case there are the other planets which are well placed in the horoscopes, third house can be brilliantly, outstandingly beneficial. Now we came to the first of the Kendras, that is fourth house. It is owned and controlled both by Moon. So it is the first of the quadrants and the best also. In Hindi we call it a Sukha, house of satisfaction. Okay. Why? Because the owner and the natural Karka or the best planet works in that particular house are same. You are living in a house for last 20 years, you are also owning that and you know each and everything about it. You will work best in that. Now we came to fifth house, the first of the trines. I never consider ascendant either as a trine or as a quadrant because it is both. It is the base. Without a strong ascendant, nobody can rise high in life, no matter what the other houses are. Okay. So fifth house is owned by Jupiter, and the natural Karaka is Sun. Again, they are best friends. Jupiter, Guru, Sun, King. That's why fifth house indicates our accumulated wealth, family, children, everything which satisfies us. Now we came to the first of the evil houses, that is the sixth house. Sixth house, say, it's a thumb rule in Vipreet Rajyoga. If Saturn sits in a fifth house, irrespective of the sign or anything else, it gives a natural Vipreet Rajyoga because of its drishtis, aspect effects. Now let us discuss the sixth house. What is sixth house? Sixth house, unidentified diseases, unidentified enemies, struggles, hurdles, everything. Sixth house is owned by Mercury and the natural Karka is Ketu. The thing which is very common in both these planets, what is Mercury? Mercury I consider it as a game changer. Mercury is a joker. Joker has got no identity of its own, but it can take the identity of anyone. Alright? Mercury, communication, skills, soft skills, not the working hard ones. Now Ketu, what is Ketu? Ketu is an immense, very strong, ruthless, but a directionless energy. Ketu doesn't have head. It can't see, can't think. It has got legs, it can only walk and walk freely. If it gets a direction, no other planet can give you quick success, as quick as what Ketu can give you. If into the sixth house, there are Buddha and Ketu both are sitting, or the Mercury and Ketu both are joined into the sixth house, irrespective of the Lagna or the sign, that person will be a big businessman. There's no doubt in that. Maybe the success will come late after, say, 34, 36, 40, even more late. But once in his lifetime, he will be the person, making the use of the golden spoon in his life. Now we came to the second house, or the, say, Dritiya Markesh, or the second cause of death in our birth chart. That is seventh house. The natural Karka is Mercury and the owner is Venus. So seventh house. Seventh house is this, the house of your partner, marriage, sex life, legal sex life. There is also illegal affairs, but seventh house mostly belong to how well your legal sex life will go, how much you will be attached to your wife, how much you can gain from your partnerships. But as I said, that it is also the house of the Tritiya Markesh, or the second cause of death, because it is owned by Venus and the natural Karka is Mercury. They are not enemies, don't take me wrong. But the effectiveness of the seventh house depends upon two things. First is the ascendant, and second is the position of Mercury in the birth chart. Mercury is also a soft Markesh. You will not killed by an enemy, but you will get a sudden heart attack. That's how Mercury works. So it is also a conditionally bad house. Now we came to the worst house of the Kundali, that is the 8th. Just like I haven't discussed, I had discussed in my previous video that the Mool Trikona house of a particular Kundali is the 9th house, the strongest trine, the best house, because it is the house of luck. And 8th house is the Mool Trikona house of the evil and bad houses in your Kundali. 8th house owned by Mars, and the natural karkas are both Mars and Saturn. That is why it is called the house of darkness. Mars, young age, youth; Saturn, old age; Mars, action; Saturn, stillness; Mars, fiery; Saturn, darkness; Mars is aggressive; Saturn, lazy. So not only the arch enemies, but naturally the most opposite forces are conjunct in this house. That is why it is the worst house of the horoscope. But in Vipreet Rajyoga, it is the best house, because 8th house is also the house of the sudden events, events which are out of your control. Even luck is out of your control. It is the house of the hidden sex, the sex affairs which you have outside your legal circle, apart from your wife. How much you can keep them under the rose. It is the house of secrets, how well you can keep your secrets. It is the house of fluctuations. If the 8th lord is strong, it's exalted, or in its Mool Trikona sign, one thing is very sure, that a person will get a success either early or late. It depends upon the other positions into the chart. But the amount of success which 9th house can give you, only 8th house can be parallel to it. No other house can give you such a quick fame, quick success. In my book, Amazing Astrology Part 1, Vipreet Rajyoga, The Luck Unleashed, the majority of the high profile guys like, say, Mark Zuckerberg, Amitabh Bachchan, they all have got their 8th lord or 8th house very, very strong. Okay. Now we came to the best house under the normal circumstances in a particular horoscope. That is the 9th house. 9th house, as I had already told you. Let's say, analyze number 9. 9 ones are 9. 9 into 2, 18. 8 plus 1, 9. 9 into 3, 27. 7 plus 2, it's 9. 9 into 4, 36. 3 plus 6 equal to 9. So 9 is a number which is limitless. That is why it indicates luck. Luck is the only limitless thing in this world. Hard work has got its limits. But luck, what hard luck can never give you in 10 years, 20 years, luck can give you like this. That is why it's only 8th house and 9th house. If they are involved, person becomes overnight famous or rich personality. 9th house is owned and controlled both by Jupiter. Okay, it is the best planet or the most powerful planet in the Vedic astrology, and the divine energy. 9th house is the house of dharma. That is why without the analyzation of the Naumansha chart, the analyzation of the Lagna chart is useless. Okay, 9th house always indicates your bounce back ability. When you fall, how many times you can get up. That is why it's a repetitive number, 9, as I had already explained to you. Now let us move ahead into the 10th house, the strongest of the Kendras. 10th house, your social circle, your connectivity, right? Your career. It is owned and controlled both by the same planet, that is Saturn. and Saturn in itself defines society. Okay, so you see 4th house owned and controlled both by Moon, 9th house owned and controlled both by Jupiter, 10th house owned and controlled both by Saturn. They are the best soothing houses of Vedic astrology because the Karka and the owners are same. Now let us move to the 11th house. 11th house is also a partially evil or partially conditionally bad house. Why? It is the house of profit, Lavasthan. Yet it is the involvement of both Jupiter and Saturn as a Karka and owner makes this thing happen. Saturn and Jupiter are not enemies, but Jupiter, its debilitation sign is the sign owned by Saturn, that is Capricorn. Okay, so 11th house, whether it will be fruitful or not, it will depend on both upon the position of a Jupiter and Saturn in a particular chart, and of course its own lord also. Now we came to the final house of our horoscope, that is 12th house. 12th house, the house of permanent losses, your expenditure on diseases, sickness, say prison, far off land, unseen places, unknown fears, everything. But it is also a house of moksha or salvation. It is owned by the best planet, that is Jupiter, and the natural Karka is the worst planet, that is Rahu. Now what Rahu is? Rahu is exactly the opposite of Ketu, you can say. Rahu has got head, it hasn't got legs. Okay, Rahu can think. Rahu has got a mouth but no stomach. Rahu can eat, and eat but never be satisfied because it has got no digestive system. Rahu can magnify the things. Say Ketu speeds up because it has got legs. Rahu can magnify because it has got the brain. If you're thinking well, you can go far beyond where a person on the vehicle can go. Okay, say, how can I say this? So Rahu is a mysterious planet, magical planet. Say I am a person who is much learned. I have got my smartphone, I have got apps. Okay, one of our friend is not aware of the smartphone system. We both have to watch a movie. He will go by auto or some other means and go and book the tickets. I will book that same ticket online. This is what Rahu is. Getting the maximum by providing the minimum input. Okay. So 12th house, if 12th lord is strong, success always came late. But it will come. And the fame will live even after the death of a person. Because 12th house is also the house of your next birth. 8th house is the house of your previous birth, and 12th house is the house of your rebirth, where you will reborn. It also depends upon the other planets placed in the birth chart. So this is, I hope so, this video will clear your concept about the basics of Vipreet Rajyoga. Even Rajyogas also. Rajyogas takes place into the good houses, Vipreet Rajyoga into the bad houses. But this is not all. Even if you have got 3 or more than 3 planets, evil planets or bad planets, exalted even into the trine or kendras, then even it will also indicate Vipreet Rajyoga. Vipreet Rajyogas are too many. Just that Sarla, Vimla, Harsha, that's a very much basic thing. No, just half astrology, nothing like that. And that's why I had chosen this topic. I was very surprised that the most root cause of the outstanding success behind any person has been ignored by even the most learned astrologers. I'm just a kid. I'm still learning. My learning curve is going on. And see, I think this is enough for this video. I will love to be with you again very soon. Till then, bye-bye, and all the glory to Demon Lord Shukracharya. Bye. Take care.